In the cathedral of capitalism, known as Wall Street, money never sleeps, but predators never rest. One of the most brutal and effective methods for stripping wealth from the crowd isn't guns or complex algorithms. It is an invisible psychological weapon with destructive power. FOMO, the fear of being left behind. When someone flaunts bright green profit charts, triple digit returns, and an unusually lavish lifestyle, they are not simply sharing success. They are weaponizing psychology, turning your greed and impatience into instruments for their own benefit. The eyes are the gateway to emotion, and emotion is the number one enemy of rational investing. Those who publicly display profits understand this better than anyone. A screenshot of a surging account balance, a luxury car parked in front of a mansion, or a few days on an expensive island is never accidental. These are visual signals designed to trigger the amygdala, the part of the brain that governs fear and desire. Once activated, the brain stops analyzing risk or cash flow sustainability and plunges into ruthless social comparison. You begin to wonder why they can do it and you cannot, why you are working 8 hours a day while someone else earns your annual income with a few clicks. That is the moment reason collapses. Profit flexers plant a deadly illusion in your mind that financial success is readily available, effortless, and only one decision away. They turn profits, normally the outcome of discipline and probability, into a form of entertainment meant to sedate the masses. Finance has a cold concept known as the greater fool theory. You can buy an asset at an irrational price as long as you can find a greater fool to buy it from you at an even higher one. Public profit flexing is the fastest way to manufacture an entire army of such fools. When inflated gains flood social media, they create invisible pressure on those standing on the sidelines. The fear of watching neighbors, friends, or even strangers get rich overnight completely destroys rational valuation. At that point, price is no longer driven by real cash flow, but by the crowd's manic expectations. Profit flexers are not showing what they own. They are marketing a dream that does not exist to attract fresh capital, pump the assets they already hold, or simply collect entry fees from newcomers stepping into the game. The weaponization of FOMO follows a familiar script. First comes shock and admiration, unbelievable results achieved in an unrealistically short time, appealing directly to the human desire for outcomes without process. Next comes artificial scarcity. Limited spots, once in a decade opportunity. The market is about to explode, leaving no time for due diligence. Finally comes the salvation play. Once you are submerged in hype and fear of missing out, they appear with a course, a signal group, or a managed project presented as your only lifeline. The bitter truth on Wall Street is this: the easier profits look to flaunt, the less credible they are. A professional investor understands that profits are merely the byproduct of a system with statistical edge. The moment that system is exposed to thousands, the edge is instantly absorbed and disappears. Anyone who makes money look easy is not trying to help you get rich. They are trying to take your money. FOMO is not just an emotion. It is a temporary state of blindness. Under its influence, retail investors ignore critical metrics such as drawdowns, risk management, and market cycles, believing prices will rise forever in a straight line. Wall Street has an old saying: cold as steel. Bulls make money, bears make money, but pigs get slaughtered. Profit flexers are the professional butchers. They fatten the crowd's greed with imaginary numbers before executing the final sweep. At its core, the financial market is a mechanism for transferring wealth from impatient hands to patient ones, from those who act on emotion to those who act on plans. Profit flexers exploit humanity's most primitive instincts to turn the market into a casino, one where the house always wins because it controls the gambler's psychology with a weapon called FOMO. Within the operating structure of Wall Street, there is a golden rule passed down through generations. Never ask a barber whether you need a haircut. The reason is simple. His incentive is to cut hair to make money, regardless of whether your hair is neat or a mess. In finance, especially in the universe of profit flexers and course sellers, this principle has a colder name: misaligned incentives. And this is the lethal trap most retail investors only recognize after their accounts have already been drained. Set emotion aside and ask a purely logical question. If an individual truly possessed a trading method capable of generating a sustainable 20 to 30% per month, their capital would compound exponentially. Mathematics does not lie. With even modest starting capital, that person would reach millionaire, if not billionaire, status within a few years. So why would someone who can supposedly print money from the market spend 10 hours a day running Facebook ads, live streaming until their voice gives out, and answering messages from strangers just to collect small course fees? The only honest answer is this: making money from you is easier than making money from the market. Trading is a brutal, high-risk profession that constantly grinds down the nervous system. Selling courses, by contrast, is a business model with near infinite margins and virtually zero risk. They have executed a perfect risk transfer. The risk no longer sits on their balance sheet. It sits squarely in your pocket. Look at major hedge funds like Bridgewater or Renaissance Technologies, and you'll see a very different standard. Fund managers get truly wealthy only when their clients do, through performance fees. That is total incentive alignment. Social media masters, on the other hand, operate a form of financial parasitism. They collect fees up front. Whether you win or lose, whether their method has real edge or is just recycled theory, the money is already in their pocket. Your long-term outcome is irrelevant to their profit equation. The only thing they need is to maintain a glossy image long enough to attract the next cohort. The teacher gets rich from volume, not from the quality of the method. In elite finance, excess returns are called alpha, and alpha has one immutable property: it is finite and easily diluted. A trading strategy that genuinely works loses its edge the moment too many people use it. That's why those who truly possess alpha guard it behind closed doors under strict confidentiality agreements. Teaching that strategy to thousands is financially illogical, unless the strategy has no real value in live markets. In that case, what they sell you isn't a key to treasure, but a fake map they know leads nowhere. To conceal this incentive mismatch, profit flexers rely on the game of social proof. Thank you messages and screenshots of students with surging accounts are displayed as irrefutable evidence. But viewed through the lens of probability, the truth is far harsher. In any group of 1,000 random traders, statistics guarantee that a small percentage will achieve outsized wins purely by luck. The mentor simply selects those lucky few as poster children, creating the illusion that the system works flawlessly. The other 990, the ones losing money or already wiped out, are quietly removed from the spotlight and disappear into silence. That is not coincidence. It is cold statistical manipulation designed to keep fresh money flowing from those who come next. In professional finance on Wall Street, there is a bitter but brutally accurate proverb: never confuse a rising market with your own intelligence. Most of the people flaunting spectacular profits today are not geniuses. They are the product of a psychological and statistical phenomenon known as survivorship bias. They are the ones still standing on the stage, while the financial corpses of thousands of others have already been swept out of your field of vision. Imagine a simple but ruthless experiment. We lock 10,000 monkeys in a room and ask them to predict the market's direction each day by randomly pressing one of two buttons, up or down. After the first day, probability dictates that 5,000 will guess correctly. After 10 consecutive days, roughly 10 monkeys will have been right every single time. Those 10 monkeys would be celebrated as legends, as prophets, fully qualified, apparently, to write books on market forecasting. But what is the cold truth? They are not smarter. They are simply the luckiest survivors in a massive sample. Those 10 monkeys are the profit screenshots on your screen. The other 9,990, the ones who guessed wrong and were wiped out, lie silent in the financial graveyard, where there are no stories, no live streams, and no warnings. Profit flexers only show you the endpoint of a lucky streak. They never show you the thousands of others who followed the exact same method and went bankrupt along the way. The next trap inexperienced investors fall into is superstition based on small sample sizes. A handful of winning trades proves nothing. In quantitative funds, no one evaluates skill based on a few green trades. We look for consistency over 3 to 5 years, across full market cycles, euphoria, stagnation, and blood-soaked crises. Someone boasting 200% returns in 3 months is usually playing just one game, all-in bets or extreme leverage. The math is simple. If you flip a coin and bet your entire account, you have a 50% chance of doubling it and a 50% chance of going to zero. Profit flexers are the ones who happen to land heads. They call that luck a proprietary trading system and sell it. What they never tell you is that on the next flip, their probability of blowing up is still 50%. No more, no less. The culture of profit flexing on social media survives through a classic data manipulation technique, cutting off the tail of the truth. A scammer can easily create 10 different Telegram groups. 5 predict the market will go up, 5 predict it will go down. The market's direction doesn't matter. He will always have 5 groups that were right. Repeat this process, and after a month, he will be left with a small group boasting a 100% prediction record. That is what gets advertised, used to showcase profits, and deployed to attract fresh capital. The members of the losing groups are erased from the narrative. They complain, they disappear, and their voices are buried beneath the noise of the fake winners' marketing. Wall Street does not celebrate lucky strikes. What the market respects is the person who earns 15% a year for 20 consecutive years, not someone who makes 500% in one year and then vanishes from the map. Massive short-term gains always come with a risk profile capable of wiping everything out overnight. Survivorship bias blinds you to that risk. You see one person buy a junk asset and get rich overnight, and you believe it's a viable path. You don't see the millions of others who bought the same asset and are now left with empty accounts. The higher the profits being flaunted, the larger the graveyard of failures that lies behind them. On Wall Street, professional hedge fund managers focus on a metric far more important than absolute returns: risk-adjusted returns. Someone boasting a 100% gain is not automatically superior to someone who makes 10%. The only question professionals ask is this: what did he have to risk to achieve that number? Returns are inseparable from the price of risk, and when someone talks endlessly about rewards while remaining completely silent about the cost, that is not success. It is concealment. Most profit flexers and sellers of unbeatable systems are running strategies with a very high short-term win rate but catastrophic long-term risk. Imagine a man picking up loose coins from a railroad track. Every day he collects money. Steady cash flow, enough to take screenshots and confidently claim he has discovered a money-making formula. But in reality, he is staking his life for spare change. The train may not come today or tomorrow, but one day it will. And when that black swan moment arrives, both accumulated profits and principal will be crushed in an instant. Profit flexers only show you the coins they picked up. They never show you the train racing toward them from behind. One detail that is almost always buried is maximum drawdown. They show you the peak they are standing on, but never the abyss they nearly fell into or already fell into and conveniently covered up with a different story. Most screenshots showing returns of hundreds or even thousands of percent are the direct result of excessive leverage. If you have $1 and use 100 to 1 leverage, a 1% move in your favor doubles your account. That is the screenshot posted online. But a 1% move against you wipes you out completely. That screenshot is deleted. Flaunting leveraged gains is no different from driving 200 kilometers per hour on the highway. You may arrive faster than everyone else, but a single grain of sand or a small pothole is enough to end everything. In professional investing, blind leverage used to produce impressive numbers is not skill. It is a clear sign of ignorance in risk management. In financial statistics, there is a frightening concept known as tail risk, rare events with devastating impact. Get-rich-quick educators typically optimize their systems to win under normal market conditions. They sell you a false sense of stability, where everything appears smooth and controllable. But financial markets have never followed a clean bell curve. They have fat tails, where pandemics, wars, liquidity crises, or sudden systemic failures can erase everything overnight. When that happens, so-called unbeatable systems are the first to collapse. Those who followed them, having never been taught about tail risk, absorb the full damage. By then, the profit flexer has often exited long ago with pockets full of course fees, leaving the crowd frozen in front of the ruins of their accounts. Another highly deceptive tactic is boasting win rates. Claims like a 90% winning system strike directly at the crowd's fear of losing. But on Wall Street, win rate is nearly meaningless unless paired with payoff to risk ratios. A system can win 9 trades, earning $1 each time, but lose one trade, costing $100. That is a suicide machine, no matter how impressive the win rate looks. Profit flexers often hold losing positions to extreme levels just to force them back into green and capture a screenshot as proof. They are borrowing safety from the future to purchase a moment of glamour in the present. And the price of that moment, sooner or later, is always collected by the market with brutal interest. There is an immutable law in economics that profit flexers deliberately ignore. Returns are always inversely proportional to popularity. If everyone knew how to beat the market, there would be no losers, and without losers, profits disappear. Financial markets exist precisely because of asymmetries in knowledge, discipline, and risk tolerance. Once those asymmetries are flattened, the game is over. In Wall Street terminology, the ability to outperform the market is called alpha. Alpha is not magic, nor is it a gift of talent. It is the result of exploiting mistakes, inefficiencies, and the repeated irrational behavior of the crowd. Alpha exists because humans are greedy, fearful, and impatient. But alpha is also one of the scarcest resources in the world because the moment it is discovered and copied at scale, it is neutralized. Think practically. If you stumbled upon a pit of gold in your backyard, would you quietly dig it up in silence or grab a loudspeaker and invite the entire neighborhood to help? In financial markets, information is gold. A strategy that truly works, once exposed to thousands of students, instantly becomes prey for trading algorithms and large financial institutions. Smart money absorbs it quietly. Those who genuinely possess alpha understand this instinctively. They guard it more closely than their own lives, because in finance, silence is not virtue, it is survival. Money has always favored quiet. Old financial dynasties and the world's top hedge fund managers never built their wealth by showing off. In their early years, names like Jim Simons and Ray Dalio operated almost entirely in the shadows. They understood that flaunting profits creates no additional economic value. It only attracts competitors and regulators. Real wealth does not require validation from the crowd. A person who flaunts profits on social media is usually searching for something they lack, either recognition or liquidity from your pocket. An elite investor, by contrast, cares about only one number: whether their net worth compounds sustainably over time. Their energy goes into studying economic cycles, analyzing financial statements, measuring risk, and controlling psychology, not color grading profit screenshots for public approval. True investing and trading are solitary professions. They are not stages, and they are not paths to fame. They are a direct confrontation between you and your own weaknesses. Those who consistently make money have little interest in noisy groups or becoming anyone's idol. They understand that the market is a continuous flow, and maintaining clarity requires a mind quiet enough to remain undisturbed by praise, criticism, or imaginary numbers. The moment someone begins to boast is often the moment they reach peak complacency. And in finance, complacency is almost always the step right before collapse. When the music becomes too loud, the smart players quietly leave the table, taking their profits with them before the lights go out. Do not let flashy performances hijack your instincts. Financial markets are not a place for overnight rich dreams. They are a battlefield for those who accept that there are no free lunches, that every return has a cost, and that discipline matters more than emotion. The naked truth is this: those who flaunt profits are selling something. Those who stay silent are making money. And sooner or later, the market will force you to choose a side. Trading Mindset Lab exists to strip away the financial truths most people do not want to hear. We do not teach get-rich-quick fantasies, nor do we promise perfect charts. What we build is a psychological operating system strong enough to endure, a risk management mindset cold enough to survive, and a perspective sharp enough to grow over the long term. If you are tired of empty promises and cosmetically enhanced profit numbers, stay. Do not become prey to FOMO. Become someone who understands the game and controls it.